be chilling tonight. I need to feel tonight, man.
Hey, man, where my radio, man?
Yeah.
Let's go. I need you to turn that up.
Jamming tonight.
Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio. Yeah. Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio.
Pull the way up like we in a club. Fly flashy, grown classy, so turn to the dub. Saturday mornings, no walk of shame, we fresh up. 950 Lounge, that's my guilty pleasure. I don't miss my favorite show, I put everything on hold. Work the baby, even the babysitter know. When 950 come on, don't bother. I'm locked in 10 to 1, no problem.
Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio. Yeah. Turn on the radio. You and I turn on the radio.
Again, we're here with a gentleman that's from the Bronx, New York. He's a talented artist. He's got his own style and a unique genre. And the story I just found out Thursday, me and his sister know each other. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 950 Lounge, Sensomatic. What's going on, brother?
Thank you very much, 950 Lounge. Thank you very much, Kev, for invite. Yeah, man, it's a good thing. It's getting chilly right now. It's October.
Kidding.
You know what I mean? I got the leather on. Went from like 65 to 40 overnight.
I was wearing shorts, and then next day I had to go pull out the coat and put it in the cleaners.
And the thermals. We about to go in the thermal weather. It's crazy.
But thanks for coming on this morning,
My pleasure.
man.
Thank you.
And big shout out to your sister Shanta, man. That blew my mind on that one.
Serious. I mean, when she told me on IG, she was like, "Oh, that's Kev. Oh, that's my man. We went to high school together." I was like, "Yo."
We went to elementary school together. She was to high school. We went to PS1, PS21.
So it goes back even further.
Yeah, I think it's the last time I had hair.
So you seen the juice kit come up over your head now, right?
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a goofy kid. Putting my mama Dax in my hair. That was.
Man, I'm still Jackson, fam. I'm still with you.
Well, you got the do-rag.
I'm still Jackson, baby.
But never that. You here to talk about your music. You from the Bronx, New York, man.
Yeah, man.
Obviously the home of hip hop. And when I looked over your profile, it really, without even hearing your music first, just your profile alone shows your range. When somebody says, I listen to 107.5 to CBS 101.1, that tells me right there out the chute, it's got a various broad range in music. Talk about that from a standpoint that developed the Sensomatic sound, that range that you can go from classic rock to urban R&B.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, my mother, when I came up, she used to play 107.5. I used to listen to Sunday morning classics, Hal Jackson. Mm-hmm. You know, when I used to ride in my father's car, he used to listen to rock. Right. You know, for a black male and a West Indian male who listened to rock. Mm-hmm. We're like, damn, how the hell did that happen? Right. I mean, he loved Bob Marley, he loved everybody, but he also liked Carlos Santana, you know, he liked Jimi Hendrix, he liked the Beatles.
Those guitar licks, right?
Yeah, he was a guitarist, you know. And it's a funny thing because in my family, my aunt happens to be a member of the 50s group, the Chantels, from the past. Nice. Sonia Goring. Yeah. So it's like I have a lot of music and a lot of art running through my family and my blood. My mother's an artist. She's a designer and she's a painter. Right. So it's screaming out of me. Although I haven't had the opportunity to do it 100% of my day, I still like to do it. I still love to do my art as much as possible.
No doubt. Now, again, you're a student in the game. You've worked over 1,000 projects. You've been doing this now, not to put your age out there, but you've been doing this almost 20 years.
Yes, sir.
So as you've kind of seen the growth of, you came in a time where, you know, you got the CD out, the CDs were still prevalent, you still have music stores, to now where there's all about online and SoundCloud. Likes and SoundClouds, and music has become, I think in 2018, more image than audio.
Absolutely. Your
thoughts as being a guy still in the game but still trying to remain relevant in this new day and age. Your thoughts?
Well, I'm an older individual compared to a lot of people who's making their footsteps in the industry right now. Right. Honestly, the social media has exploded on the scene, and that's an entire brand new element that artists from back in the early 90s, the early 2000s just did not have.
Right.
So for me to even be able to tap into that right now is an experience for me. It's like a whole learning curve. And I'm jumping out there as best as possible, you know what I mean? I work full time, so I gotta figure out a way to manage my craft and manage my time to grow an internet presence as well.
Let's jump on that, because you said obviously you used to work a day job and this music is a passion, but it's also a cost. As an independent artist, how do you, and I know like Tone is in that same boat, but how do you kind of ration, you got your family here, the fact of, hey, I'm trying to pursue this dream, but yet I got a baby girl to feed, mouth to feed.
Yes, sir.
How has that balance become when it's like it's all coming out of your pocket as an artist?
Frustrating.
Yeah.
honestly frustrating. And it's at the end of the day, you get a little discouraged because you want things to move faster. You want to blow. You see people on TV. You're like, I could do that, but the real truth is, you don't know what those people did to get to where they are. So the way I look at it is, I got a lot of growth to do. No matter how old I am, I still have to grow up more, so I can get to that level where I'm more competitive and I'm more able to talk to people on that wide stream level.
Now with the now going into the SoundCloud and everything else with that, how's that been going for you itself? Going into the digital media part of it, coming from CD to tapes now to digital.
Yeah, as far as making the transition is good, but as far as getting a community for myself, as far as the fan base growth, difficult, because people are like, who the hell is this guy? I can't see him on TV. He doesn't know nobody. So that's the part that I'm working at right now, as far as backing up, making sure my face is seen in certain places, being able to come and talk to Kev, come and talk to everybody.
Don't say that's just me. They get mad when you just say me.
We used to it already.
It's only Kev. It's only Kev. It's the Kev show. It's not 9:59. Just the Kev show. We all want to admit to it. It's all right.
I didn't say that.
Going into 2019, we're just gonna name the show the Kev Show.
I like that.
Yeah, I know you like that, right? Hey, look at him. Yeah.
That's
Kick rocks on that
see
too.
What you're talking to Sensomatic.
So now you're looking at doing collaborations with other groups and other artists and everything else as well?
Absolutely, 100%.
Now, is there any particular ones that you would love to do collaborations with?
As far as the industry right now?
Yes.
Oh man, I would love.
Or even some of the older ones back then.
Give me 5 people that you actually want to work with right now. 5 people.
Oh man, Smith & Wesson. Right off the gate, Smith & Wesson.
Union reps?
Union reps.
This goes Kev said.
Die line, and die line.
KRS-One, Rakim, all the originators. Public Enemy,
Now, let me make it harder for you. Give me 5 up-and-coming new artists that are out right now. Not the old school dudes that, you've had that appreciation for. But give me 5 dudes that are out right now that came out within the last 4 years. That you might work with, where you could actually show them something or open their eyes and they could show you something.
That's a difficult one because I'm not good with names right now. But I'm not even gonna lie to you, although his image is a little how should I say it, altered. But I feel Soulja Boy has a huge presence.
Okay.
As far as the West Coast and the Midwest.
Okay.
He's not East Coast.
Nah, not at all.
Not at all. I feel. Let me see. You said 5. I'm not good
give me
with
3.
names.
You give me 3. I'm just trying to make it more difficult for the fun of it.
Let me see who else.
So there'll be no. All right. So let me throw names at you.
Yeah,
then.
throw some
Drake,
names.
Cole.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
I
Like
definitely feel like
6ix9ine.
Nah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like I can run
Big
with homie.
Sean.
Yeah, I like Big Sean.
Let me see. Who am I forgetting? Kendrick.
For sure.
So that's it. There's your 5 right there.
Right there.
So that's what I'm saying is like, because some artists who, you still do the CD, you still do that, but if you want to move to a newer age, you're going to have to grasp newer age guys. Like, it's great to want to work with KRS-One and all those guys, but what are they really doing right now? They're more on the back end, in the background, and you're still an aspiring artist. So you've got to try to grab up-and-coming guys, especially somebody you could, partner up with and be like, oh, I got this, you got that. Help me out this way, I'll help you out this way. So that's one piece of advice I could give to you. Try to find newer artists that are coming up, union reps. I'm sure they got a few people, and just new people in general, where you could just say, I might not like this style 100% or her style 100%, but I can rock 80%. If I could rock 80%, I could just watch what they do and how they build up a fan base. I could grab that.
And build
it on my end.
Yes, sir.
Do a couple of shows here and there. You know, 950's always looking for a Thursday opening act. I'm not gonna say for what, but we always need a Thursday opening act once a month.
Good plug.
You know, so it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. And this is how you build.
Yes, sir.
And you just do it that way. And it's a quicker way to just learn the business.
And another thing is, I'm not only like a rapper.
See,
I make
right.
beats.
You make beats.
I make beats.
So now, how are
as
you
far as
getting your
me being
beats
able
out there?
Well, it was going back with my age thing. 10 years ago, I had did I Standard. Mm-hmm. So I had paid for that. So and I didn't win, you know what I mean? But just the mere fact that I stepped out of my comfort zone and seen what other people was doing and saying, okay, you need to really, really get better in the studio, do what you need to do, make your beats louder, make them stronger, make them pump, get the low end going. You know what I mean? And if you really want to talk about hip hop, you know, and that's what sent me back to the lab and said, you know what, you really dig hard.
I was about to ask you, because now you was talking about, because I remember Kevin said in the beginning that you also do, that your father and everything else was into the guitar licks and everything else.
Yes, sir.
Now, are you also looking at using things in that type of fashion as well? Because I know, like, back in the days, Public Enemy was a big group that did that type of stuff as well.
They had rock,
and then you also had a couple other rock groups like Living Color and a couple others that did
Absolutely.
Run DMC. That's all. Be honest. Run DMC was a rock hip hop group.
Yeah, but it was,
look at them.
Yeah, because as I was saying, so did you think about doing any type of
Absolutely.
things
I'm
like that?
currently taking lessons for the guitar as I speak. I mean, I've been doing it for the last 5 years. My guitar teacher's name is Tony Joyner. And he's been doing this for me, helping me out. Even though he lives in Florida at the moment, he's like, we go on, we video chat. He's still sending me lessons and he's still keeping me under the tutelage. So yeah, I would love to play live.
Yeah, because
I
know like one of the ones people don't really realize. I forgot which group he was on, but Slash.
Yeah.
And nobody really knew that he was actually a person that's African American.
He's black.
Yeah, nobody really
for
knows
Michael
about
Jackson.
That. Yes, and
on
nobody
many
really,
tunes.
Yeah, and nobody ever really knew that. And they was like saying, "Huh? But he's just he was just up in Europe all the time." But that's the one thing.
That's right.
Talking again in Sensomatic, I want to dive back into the business of music, because you own your own studio and you've been putting out this work. I know, like Nelson, engineer, he's an aspiring artist, and like I said, Tone is doing his thing with Union Reps. But I want to take a break. Let's talk about the business of music. You mentioned something earlier about exposure and getting out there and getting your face out there, and this is one of those stops that we're happy to have you. But I want to talk about how that may have changed in your effect of being an artist and taking this to another level. Skinny that with Sensomatic. It's 950 Lounge Live. Come on back. We're back on the Ride 950 Lounge Live Saturday, talking to the homie Sensomatic about some music. And during the break, when you came back, we wanted to come back and talk about the business of music, go more in depth with that. Again, being a family man and working in music, and I'm sure you, like a lot of people, we had the young ladies, female talks reporters, and they're not just doing it just to do it. They're doing it as a business to try to grow and make it their primary revenue generator. When it comes to music for you as a family person and as a person that's got his own business but yet has to balance that chord, you mentioned it's hard, but how is that what's the generation piece right now for you? Is it music? Is it the studio alone? Is it a combination of both? How are you generating to be able to put out that's not just coming out your family budget pocket?
As far as financially?
Financially, correct. Like when you're putting out CDs and you're doing photo shoots and music videos and that type of thing. But a lot of artists that we have on here, a lot of young artists, not like yourself, but they don't have a clue on how to generate. Like they know how to put it out, but how do I profit from this? It's like going to work and working all weekend and Friday. You don't know how you get paid.
So what I've been doing is I generate funds a few different ways. I will invite people to my studio and I record their projects, and that's what's...
That here in the Bronx?
Right here in the Bronx.
Okay.
And that's what's been allowing me to offset. I'm sorry, I'm breathing a little.
I know you was running to pay. Listen,
okay.
Hey, listen, we in New York City. I know we a global show. New York City got paid tolls here on Saturday, so you could. I'm glad you caught catch your breath a little bit.
Gotta get that. I needed my asthma pump today.
I hear you.
But basically, yeah, when I invite people to the lab, I charge a little $35, and I feel like that's not a lot for people to to be creative.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the real studio, you might get charged $250 an hour.
Yeah.
You might not even finish your project.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, you know, that offsets a little bit of what I invest back, but I'm gonna be honest with you, just the love alone allows me to take what I make out of my regular check
Right.
and keep it going.
No doubt. No doubt.
The one thing I can say that really also I can see that's really helping you a whole lot too is that you have your own studio. Because if you didn't have your own studio, imagine the amount of money you'd be paying just to go to a studio.
Yes, sir.
To get the stuff done.
Or beats alone, you know, to buy a track from another producer and you don't know nobody, so they be like, all right, give me 100. Man, that's $100 for one track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you still got to go to the studio and record it.
Is that what you charge? I know you do music and, you know, been doing it for a while.
We don't charge. You know what I'm saying? Like,
We're gonna get a lot of calls after this show.
No. What I'm saying is like, when I first started this, it was just for people to give me approval. Like to basically say, you know, because I grew up around a gang of people that rap some is even in the industry now to this day. And it was like I wanted the stamp of approval. I wanted to be recognized like them as I was nice. So once I got that, everything else was really irrelevant for me. Then it became like a business aspect for me, but I still had the love for the music. So I know everybody's struggle is pretty much the same. They don't have a platform or avenue or a place to go. So I said, why would I want something different for the same person that was in the same situation as me? You know what I'm saying? Like I tried the 35, I tried that. But in retrospect, they in the same situation I was in. I mean, I have a self-contained company. We don't want for nothing. We have everything. So it's not gonna hurt me to work with you. You know what I'm saying? And you do something for free and get it off the ground. Now, when you come back after that, we'll work out some business. But just to get you off the ground, because most artists is just freestyling on their phone or freestyling on a person's on another person's beat. They have actually never been in the real studio process and recorded a song and have the engineer tell them you got to come out, that didn't sound right, or do that over, you wasn't breathing right. So give them that experience and have them look forward to something else to have motivation to go get some money to then come back. But to just put them in that situation from the gate, they not gonna be receptive.
Well, can I be honest with you? First off, where I'm located, dead in the hood. You know, I'm a block off of Fordham Road. So the reason why I charge is to see if people are serious about their craft. Right. And if they, you know, you gotta realize you're coming into my home, you know, where I expended my funds to enable this to happen.
Gotta be some respect.
So initially, I might have to charge you for your first hour. You come back to me, then we work out a plan. If you don't have it, I could do that. I can work with you. But that initial session.
And we all gotta eat. Con Ed ain't trying to let you.
Nah, I get it. I understand, and you absolutely right. What you're saying is just me. I'm in a different situation because I'm actually doing this. My whole sole purpose of that. Me and my partner argues about that because he don't agree with my merit of it. But I will take care of that part of it. Let's just get it done.
I don't agree with the tone, just to the record.
It's just that most people, they have the talent, but you got to see what you can do in the studio. Because talent means nothing. You could be the nicest basketball player, but if you don't know how to formulate a drill, how to run a play, that talent is useless.
Yes, sir.
And it's the same thing in the studio. You got to know how to say this the right way. It has to be on cue. You have to be riding the beat. It can't be no stuttering. So once I know that you could get through that, then we could talk about the money. Because a lot of people never been in the studio, but they lie to you and tell you they have. And then you're in the studio, I'm charging you just $35, and it's taking you 4 hours just to get through your first 16.
Your first verse,
because you nervous and you never been in here.
More money,
You never been in here. Now you arguing with me about well, I got it, but I still ain't get a song out of it.
You gotta do your homework before you come to the lab.
So my thing was network with people, see where they at, and see when they go in the studio how they react.
So you're basically looking more like as a mentorship thing.
Yeah.
You're letting them know that I'm trying to get you set up to know how to go in, just in case, even if you don't come back to me, but you know what to do.
Because half of the people that's rapping don't even know the format of rapping. They
You need to have rodeo come sit with you.
They just think it's catchphrases and making things rhyme together. They don't know the process of how to ride the beat. They don't know none of that.
But isn't that the process of what is now with rap?
Well, can I say that? That is rap. Rap is just, I could say whatever I like, and if people find it to be hot, then they're gonna like it.
Like your favorite artist right
exactly. What are you saying, bro?
Skip that, boom, bap.
Is he rapping?
Yeah, it's not. It's called mumbling. Now that's why you got mumble rappers. What are they mumbling? You don't even know.
They not mumbling though. It's harmony.
They're popular, and that's the business.
Harmony,
That's the business hustle that I want to learn.
Catchphrases.
That's the business hustle I want to learn. I mean, you might put out garbage. You might put out garbage, but they still got $1 million deal that they touching right now.
Yeah, but how much they had to do to get that $1 million?
Exactly. What did they have to do?
Well, again, I think it's more imagery than audio. I think it's more visual.
Kev, you said it. I mean, this is why I said earlier the hip and the hop. Like, it's more on the hop side because the imagery, and you could do something stupid, or somebody in camp do something stupid, and then you get a crazy following, and then they're going into that, or they're going into your sales. It's nothing is based on the music no more. No. It's on everything else.
Well, let's go into the music.
Okay, I was going to ask you, this is still part of the music. I was going to ask you, gentlemen, because y'all mostly do a lot of that stuff. How do y'all feel nowadays when you have so many artists mimicking each other instead of coming out with their own style?
Yes,
There's a lack of creativity right now. I mean, basically what it is compared to when in the 90s and the early 2000s when everybody wanted to have their own brand. It's about what's selling, what's popular, and who's gonna like it. Who's gonna put a like on my Facebook? Who's gonna put a like on my IG or Twitter? If you're twitting or whatever it's called, tweeting, you know what I mean? It's a popularity hustle. But if you ask that age group of, I say 25 to 45, are they really gonna like it? Most of the times, no. And even the people who are underground, who are struggling to come out, they're still not gonna like you. Why? You don't have a look. You don't have an image. Nobody knows you.
Well, let's talk about the music, because I think you make a statement with Harsh Day's Grind CD I'm holding now, pulling camera. Is this relatives, or is this just something that you pulled out, old school, Harsh Days? Looks like something out
Talking about the imagery of the picture.
The imagery of the picture.
The imagery of the picture itself, the cover art that's my grandfather, and that's my grand uncle.
Wow. Okay.
And I decided to use them just to feed off of that energy, because you couldn't even imagine how hard for us now compared to them back in the 40s and 50s when they was coming up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Having to deal with slavery just ending 40 years, 50 years prior to that. Their family members are still, enslaved mind mentality. And them having to fight themselves and in different cultural barriers that they were going through. So they were young men coming up. So I fed off of that energy.
Right.
And try to blend a little bit of the old with the new.
See, the funny thing is, I'm looking at the imagery of this thing. And I guess your guys who's on my Facebook page saw some of the stuff I put out back in the days, like how men used to dress up and everything else. And it was very sharp. They always had the suits, they had the hats, they was freshly cut, they was always kept themselves looking nice.
Black men
not walking around with their pants off their butt, wearing some weird looking hair colors, all this other stuff. Yeah.
We were sharp people. We still are.
Yeah. I do believe that, and again, it's just my opinion, that at the end of the day, I mean, obviously we're in an era that, we were talking about it with the girls about like athletes just doing outlandish and getting exposure, and the loud mouth, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. But I really believe we're coming back, and we'll come back to a time where talent, cream rises to the top.
Yes, sir.
Right now, I don't think that's the case at the moment. I think right now it's just about, look at me, whoever beats the chest the hardest, is the one who's going to win. But I really believe eventually people are going to get tired of that, because you can only, if you put whipped cream on horse manure. Once you get through the whipped cream, it's still
tastes like strawberries.
It's still horse manure. And that's
what it tastes like strawberries.
Sour grapes turns into the most best wine.
Yeah, exactly. So again, you got an album here. This is the album cut. You got a bunch of tracks on here.
Yeah.
What's his favorite? What is the favorite track that you made on that you really like? That you said that's the best track you have on?
Oh man,
I know it's all of them, but what's the one that you would pinpoint that you said that you like?
I like.
To be out there?
If I was to stand out and do a song right now off that album, and I'd say this is my favorite, it'll be Mind Right. Mm-hmm. Mind Right is brief, it's to the point. The beat is, I would say, kind of R&B-ish, but it's just me just venting a little bit, and it's not angry.
And what is
it's
it
just
about,
being.
basically?
Mind Right is basically saying, you know what, I'm gonna do what I gotta do regardless if you like me or not. I might not be who you thought I was, but I still gotta do what I gotta do to survive.
Right.
I got to keep my mind right through this hustle time.
Right.
Get my mind right.
No
and
doubt.
keep it right.
And we're going to play Sensomatic's music on our website, nowfreelounge.com, all week. So people get a chance to hear your stuff all week on our site, and they'll come up and, leave messages, and, we'll definitely link you to Sensomatic. If you got something to say positive about it, hopefully. But we're going to play that because, again, if we can't support one another as artists and as people, as men, then what good are we? You mentioned about that song right there. What's the mindset you have to be when you're sitting down and writing? Now, I've met plenty of artists that come out and say they got to enhance themselves. Some say they have to have different lighting. Some say they just carry a notebook or they're talking to their phone these days. What's the Sensomatic mindset when you say, listen, I got to put the wife, the kids away, and I got to write? What's the format like?
I'm gonna be honest with you, especially now that I'm a parent. It's when I get a moment.
Got it.
When I get out of work and I might be stressed riding the 4 train, stuck in between stations.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
You know what I mean? When I'm online at BJ's and it's wrapped around it, I'm like, damn, I wish I had my mind right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or make this money. You know what I mean? So I could get my lab to the next level. And start meeting the right people who can start really opening some doors.
Right.
And I wrote a lot of this under a lot of stress because there was a lot of, I sat there and I watched my daughter grow over these last couple of years from an infant into an 8-year-old. I have a stepdaughter who can't walk, you know what I mean? And I've gone through a growth period right now in my life, and Hard Day's Grind is, I'm be honest with you, ain't the damn thing easy about living in New York and living in this world as a black male.
No doubt.
Coming up, you know what I mean?
that.
Taking care of our queens and just being honest to myself.
Right.
I mean, my album is just about me being honest to myself about right now who I am.
And where can people find the album, man?
It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify. I distribute it through DistroKid.
Okay.
And so it's everywhere right now. I mean, you could look it up right now, Hard Day's Grind on YouTube, and just check it out. You got 15 songs, 3 little instrumental snippets that I just, I pushed together. And just check it out. I hope you like it. I like it for right now. There's a lot of things out there that I could have did a lot better, but with the time that I had, I did the best I could.
Well, you got to be a fan of your own music. Go ahead.
You know what I was going to say? Not to be cutting you off. One thing I was going to say was that basically, if you ever look at most of the artists that's out there that put a lot of songs out of their pain, their hurt, and everything else, or what they're going through, became top hits.
Yes, sir.
Because look at that No Doubt album. Whoever thought that all that pain that she had, or even the Madonna album, or even some of the Michael Jackson stuff.
Mary J.
Mary J's career.
Fantasia, all those people who put out their heart and soul and the stuff that they was going through, album comes to the top.
To fruition.
And so if you look at what you did right there and all your stuff is put in there, I can see this gonna go far.
Thank you very much.
Nelson, you want to ask something? You've been quiet today, man. You just in awe?
He's trying to get his phone working. He's
stuck over there.
He's trying to get his mind right.
He in his centers in that Apple world is
I'm
getting
trying to give our young scholar a platform. He quiet today.
Nah, I finally got the phone, the email account good. But to be honest, I just had quite a few, drinks last night, so I'm just chilling right now.
That's good. That's
what
good.
I need is just some
Like, you
greasy
can do that,
food
you're
and
young.
some sleep, So that's just what I'm looking forward to. But keep definitely doing what you're doing, and you like, I hear people say you really gotta want it more than your next breath, because it's one of those situations where like when you want something, like you really want it, like when you hungry that you gotta eat.
Keep going with it.
You gotta keep going, because and with a lot of people, it seems that things happen overnight, but they just push. You gotta grab that one song, push that one song hard, and then when you have their attention, it's like, all right, this is what I do, and then you give them the whole catalog.
Yes, sir.
So I'm rooting for you, man, and I'm pushing for
Thank you very much.
No doubt,
You gave the best advice.
Yeah.
That's why I tell him he might be the youngest guy here, but he's just.
I'm studying right now.
To any artist, that's really the blueprint. Promote that one song.
And from a marketing perspective,
and
let's definitely talk. I know Ghost, you work with Ghost. And
Yeah,
he's
Ghost
doing,
West 176th Street Entertainment.
Yeah, he's doing some unique things. We got him on cinema and movie theaters, so promoting the brand. So from a standpoint, the people you're working with are starting to branch out and different things.
Absolutely.
I call it outside the bun, beyond social, Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I know you got to do those things, but it's also about, driving, when 100 cars are driving left or right, and that one car is driving right to left, I don't care where you're at, you're gonna see that one car coming right to left.
That's right.
And you wanna be that one car going against the grain.
Absolutely.
Josh, you wanna add before we get out of here? Anything? I guess not.
He's a deep throat. It's so much that I want to say, so I'm just kind of condense it real quick.
Yeah.
One, learn the social media game, obviously. Like Nelson said. Two, find a track that you're really in love with and push that one track as hard as possible. Everywhere you go, anytime you're out and about, that's that one track you want everybody to know about. Because that one track will get you more than enough followers that you can start pushing yourself. Three, try to just look at what some of these, and I hate to use him as the example, but gotta give credit where credit is due. 6ix9ine, look at what he did.
Yeah, I do agree. I do agree.
As much as I can't stand some of the things he does, some of the things he does do, they are right. But the way he made himself popular and entertaining, and I'm not saying all the trolling and
that's the one part that I can't talk to him about.
But the way he did it and the way he brought his marketing up, and everybody knows I can't even stand her, but Cardi B is another one where you got to give credit where credit is due. Look at how they did it. Go back and research. What did she do from here to here?
Well, don't fall Cardi all the way, because you're not built for that.
I'm just saying. But I'm saying you take bits and pieces of a lot of different people. Right. You put a puzzle together, and it'll give you an answer that you're looking for. And those are the three things I can stress to you. Is one, find somebody young that you could probably latch on to, that you can learn something from in this new age. Two, stick to what you know. Push that album as hard as possible. And three, just look around and see what other people are doing. And just take a bit from here and a bit from there and a bit from there. And next thing you know, you're going to have a full puzzle and you're going to be a billionaire.
Build your quilt.
Thank you, King.
Build your quilt. Again, Harsh Days Grind. One more time, where you can find Harsh Days Grind?
YouTube, Spotify, all platforms. It's everywhere right now. It's just up there sitting. I was really tempted to pull it down for just editing purposes and put it back up. But I think right now I'm just going to leave it. It is what it is. And stand with it, and go back what I learned, what mistakes I made on it, and cook even harder next time I come back around.
And here's a couple of cuts on nonfreelounge.com.
Have you started the next project yet?
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet. As a matter of fact, tomorrow afternoon, I'm going to be seeing Deborah Coco and Just Give Me the Mic and promoting Harsh Days Grind. So I got to stay right where I am for right now. But once I'm ready to go back to the lab, I'm starting to meet new people. Union reps, I'm hopefully we'll be able to build on something in the future.
We're definitely going to do something. Immediately, because that's...
Yeah, Tone knows he don't charge, so
That's how I operate, so we're going to do something.
Yeah, and I'm trying to have the right team right now to really get the damn thing going.
My thing for you would be right now, you said you feel confident about that Mind Right, then that's be the single that you need to be promoting, and then you need to come up with a treatment for where you want that video to go. And once you come up with that treatment the way you want that video to go, that's going to be our first interaction in business, my brother.
Thank you very much.
Well, we hope we get, we got you an interview here. Hope
I just want to be in the video. I just want to be in a music video. Dancing. I'm going to be dancing in the video.
Yeah, my daughter's going to have the main spot right there next to me.
There you go. Let's get her. She wanted to come on camera. Come on, let's get her before we get out of here.
She said,
come on camera.
Look,
She's like, no, I'm not.
She's actually filming right now.
Okay, she's
doing
filming.
a whole
Okay,
different
she's
job
working.
right
It's
now.
all good. It's all good.
She's behind the scenes. She's the one that's going to be counting the money, making sure everything is right.
And by getting her bars up.
No doubt. But my brother, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you.
One more time, where can people reach out to you on social media?
Right now, you can hit me on IG at Sensological. Okay, if you want to talk to me or by YouTube as well, Sensological channel. If you want to send me an email, I'm on Gmail, so that's Sensomad, SENSOMAD @gmail.com. All right, and thank you very much.
Big shout out to the brother Sensomatic again. Shanta, I hope you're watching. Again, your brother's here. Harsh Day's Grind, go check it out. We'll have a couple cuts on nonfilounge.com this week.